Hello, hello, it's Wednesday. Welcome, hello, welcome. Oh my gosh, happy to be with you today. It's been a busy day today. Yeah, it's been a long one and it's not over yet. I'm Teacher Michelle. If you're the first time here, hello. If it is your first time joining us live on Facebook or YouTube, type your name in there. Say, hey, this is my first time. The tulips, which is what we call our followers, the tulips will make you feel welcome. Welcome. They'll be welcome. You'll be very welcome. So say hello. Like I said, it's been a long day already today. We have a full class out there. This is their final week. Today they're making designs for a customer with a price point. So lots of mathin' going on. In the studio today, of course, Jules is running tech for us, making sure that we're staying live and happy. Leanne is on Facebook and YouTube in the studio, so she'll be verbalizing questions to me, so please have questions for me. Out in Cyber World, of course, David's with us, Caledonia is with us on Facebook, and Susie, who you're going to learn more about on Friday, is with us on YouTube. And then we have guests in the studio today. We have a prospective student here today. So behave yourselves, be on your best behavior. She can't see you, but that's okay. Be good. So we're talking about autumn or fall, whatever you like to call it, autumn. And autumn glow was kind of the vibe that we had. And if you know Teacher Michelle, if you've had me in class or you've seen me before, you know I like my sparkle, like my bling. So the glow kind of morphed into autumn glitter, maybe? No, Jim, there is no glitter. I restrained myself, but there's a technique, and I've got some gold going on. So, if you're a tulip, you know the drill. Put your name in there, tell us where you're from, put your tulip icon in. If you're a first timer, be sure to let us know so we can say hello. And housekeeping, turn it sideways, turn your phone sideways if you want a bigger picture. If you're already watching us on television, great, we're larger than life and we don't need to be any bigger than that. So I'm going to start with a vessel from one of Leanne's collection of lovely vessels. It's a pottery one, and it's got just some really nice texture to it, and it had a subtle autumn vibe, I guess I would say, because it's brown. That was my connection. And I'm just going to work on a classic, sort of classic round, a more traditional look to the design. Oh, I have things in my pocket. Who knew, right? And it's shiny things in my pocket. All right, so question for you guys. I, on my way home, drive by a little farm stand, and they have their pumpkins or their squash out. Do you have your pumpkins yet? Have you started decorating your storefronts or your porches for fall? I got my boxes out. That's as close as I've gotten at this point. They haven't made it onto the porch yet. But it is October, isn't it? Okay, I guess I better get my act together. Otherwise it will be time to put up Christmas decorations and I won't have changed my fall decorations yet. My front porch, I have artwork on it. I have a little covered porch area, and I found, oh my goodness, been years now, an oil painting that had all the colors that are on our house. Some tans, some browns, a little bit of green because it was a picture of flowers, go figure, and orange, of course. So it's an oil painting. It just hangs outside all year long, except when we get to this time of year. And I have a watercolor. It's a print, because I'm not going to ruin a watercolor, but it's a print. It's huge, of a pumpkin, and I hang that out there. So that's part of my fall decor is that. I'm getting a little carried away here, aren't I? Goodness, so big. So one, have you gotten your pumpkins yet, or your squash, or whatever you like to call them? And two, have you started your fall decorating yet? Curious. So, has anybody chimed in and said hello yet? Or do we have anybody out there, or am I just talking to the
Yep, we
screen?
got a huge crowd out here, and
Good.
I will speak up that I autumnized my home
Oh,
last weekend.
excellent.
And I always go kind of weird, crazy with every season, and so
Yeah.
I change my throw pillow covers, I change my shower curtain,
I don't have chocolate.
and I change out my candle wall and my pottery. So now I have gourds and candles, and everything is just beautifully autumn.
Nice.
I have not a single pumpkin. I feel guilty.
Oh.
I don't know why I didn't do a pumpkin. I was like, what was I thinking? I guess I gotta get on it.
I got lucky. I have a pumpkin from one of our upcoming videos that I got lucky got to bring home.
Oh, yeah, now we know where the stuff goes when it leaves school.
Sherry said she did her pumpkins. She grew both white and orange this year.
Oh, nice. I love did you grow the little ones, the baby boos, or do you have more like the pie pumpkins that are what? Either one, they're adorable. I don't really care. But I do love a pumpkin. It's orange. Of course I love a pumpkin.
I know,
Why wouldn't I love a
orange
pumpkin?
girl.
Yes. So, autumn glow was our theme today. Remember I said I went more autumn glitter? Can you see that in the close-up there, Jules?
Let's see, hang on.
So I have gilded camellia foliage. And that's the technique I wanted to talk about today. So what I've done with that foliage is I had a can of spray paint. This is just almost empty, gold spray paint, and water. This is water. It says water because it's recycled. I just used plain water, but you can use soapy water. And what you would do is you would take your foliage and you would spritz it with the water. And ideally you get some big beads of water. You don't want a mist, you want more of a spray. So there's big blobs, big droplets of water. And then you hit it with the spray paint while the water's still on it. And what it does is it gives a more mottled look to your materials. It can make it look very antique. A lot of it also depends on the texture of the foliage that you're working with. But what I like about it is as the water evaporates, it leaves a crinkly, almost gold leafed texture on your foliage. So it gives a little bit of sparkle. I didn't completely obliterate the green of it, but I just took it up a notch, right? I just give it a little bit of a glow up, an autumn glow up, if you will. And here's one, which I'll use later, that I have done on a fatsia leaf, which you can see a little more the speckly, turn it and get a little bit of sparkle on it. See more of that speckly gold leaf vibe on it that the water droplets created. And then when Jules does photos for us later today and post them for you all in the Tulip Bunch, I'll ask her to get a close-up so you can really see, because on the fatsia it looks amazing. Like, I just wanted to paint all the things today. I don't think the class was excited because I had the roll door up while I did it and they were freezing to death. But we must sacrifice for our art. It was better for the flowers, and we have to sacrifice for our art sometimes. So I'm going to work with a few little bits of this gilded foliage. So has anybody typed in on, besides Sherry, on what they've got going on their porches or in their storefronts?
Carol Jean has her inside done, but hasn't started her outside.
Okay.
Lori has her porch done.
Of course you do, Lori. You are so efficient.
And Veda is our overachiever. She's all done, 100%. And then Tess is questioning, are you using glitter?
I am not. I have restrained myself today. I did not use glitter. I just gilded instead.
And Dove loves your antique marbleized gilding.
Yes, it's my favorite. Like I said, if you've met me, you know, if you slow down, I'll glitter you or spray paint you. That's my happy place.
And then we had a little bit of a reminder.
Oh, yes.
That some of our audience, it's spring.
Oh, good point. So
how do you do Halloween with spring flowers? Because Halloween is still Halloween.
Halloween is still Halloween, but if you think about in recent years, we've had non-traditional color palettes for Christmas, for Halloween. Instead of doing the orange and the black and the rust and the brown, go to...
Oh, you mean like your fingernails?
Oh,
Very nice.
go Beeps. You can go more to a like a jewel tone palette. So go like to an apple green. And do I have apple green? Sort of.
Not really.
Not really. But to a purple, a violet. Go to a brighter green color. You could go to a peach tone instead of a pure pumpkin orange or red orange color. So yeah, you can still make it work in spring colors if it's in a pumpkin. And your pumpkin doesn't have to be orange. It could be white, like the ones that Sherry's growing, and that would be adorable. Absolutely adorable. Leanne.
It just makes me think. We've had students that were flower farmers, more so than designers. They came to learn design, but they were flower farmers.
Sure.
And two that I can think of that I found amazing, they would spend spring, summer in the northern hemisphere, and then they would go to the southern hemisphere to repeat spring and summer and work with farms there. How cool is that?
Oh, that's very cool. I want to be you. That sounds lovely. Leanne, I'm giving my 2 weeks. I'll be doing that.
No.
Just kidding. Yeah.
I think they failed. That was it. It didn't work.
It didn't work? All right. Well, darn it. Darn it. I don't know that I'd go to the southern. Well, I have been to the southern hemisphere. It is quite lovely, but I don't know. I kind of like having seasons. I don't know. I like seasons. It's raining in Portland this week.
It's delightful.
My skin is happy. It's delightful. It's cool in the mornings. It's cool at night. Everything's wet. It's perfect. Spoken like a true Oregonian. Everything's wet and it's wonderful.
So we're passing out umbrellas in the classroom.
And I just look like a drowned rat when I get to school and I don't care. So I have, in the spirit of fall, a couple different varieties of spray mums. I have an adorable little button. Oops, there we go. An adorable little button palm. It's a bicolor. Cutie. And then I have some micro daisy palms. So they're like the size of a nickel. They're very, very small. They're just adorbs. I love them. And the students got to play with those this week. We've been learning about all the chrysanthemums because that's one of those flower families that has lots to choose from. So they've been learning about those, amongst other things. Anybody else chiming in on their fall decor?
You know, some people have restrictions that they can't put things out due to the homeowner association, which
sorry.
just
Bummer.
seems sinful.
Yeah, that's just wrong.
And then we need to do a shout out to Kim. She had emergency gallbladder surgery.
Oh my goodness.
And so her hubby's going to get the autumn decor out for her.
Well
She's
done.
doing well.
Well done, Kim's hubby. Yes, Kim, I hope you're on the mend. No surgery is good surgery in my opinion. So hopefully everything is mending well and you're feeling better. So I'm just mixing these up in here. I stole these from the students. I stole them because I'm not giving them back. I just plain out stole them. I'm not even going to pretend. I walked around and cherry picked it. I was going to use that. Too late. It's mine.
Mine now.
Mine. As I ran for the studio. So some of you are probably thinking, why are you starting with your filler flower? I don't know, because I felt like it today. Once you learn about your materials and your forms, in class we talk about start with A, then move to B, or you could start with B and then go to A. We usually have an A or a B option, but once you get comfortable with your materials, understand how they work, feel good about your forms that you're trying to create, it doesn't really matter what you start with. It matters how it ends up, right? We talk about that a lot with bows and tying bows, that there really isn't one right way. If you end up with a bow at the end, I'm fine with it. Everybody likes to be just a little different. All right, so I'm thinking, I have so many choices, I don't even know where to go next. I feel like the dahlias need to come out because they are so absolutely gorgeous. We're getting if the rain has come, we're getting towards the end of dahlia loveliness. Yes, Jules.
Fiona wanted to know if you use a floral foam inside or a water film.
Yes, thank you, Fiona. I didn't address that. I am using foam today. I have, I think I have all three. I have Midnight, I have Green Oasis, and I have Renewal. So I'm sticking in the foam lane today. Yes, Jules.
Well, I was gonna say, if they watch it back, I did show close up when you first picked it
First
up.
started, yeah.
So you can see.
And thank you for asking, Fiona. I meant to say what I had going on. And maybe I did. I don't know. I don't know what I did 10 minutes ago. So what I said 10 minutes ago is highly subject to discussion. So I'm tucking some of these lovely local ball dahlias in fairly deep, trying to create a little depth in the design. And then I've got some cute little buds. Leanne, what's happening over there?
Well, Cheryl from Wheelhouse
Yes!
checked in, and she's making us sad. She says it has sunshine 340 days a year.
Yeah, rub it in. Just because you're in Eastern Oregon and burns, that's rude. That's really
But
rude.
she said she loves those lovely micro daisies.
They are super sweet. Do you carry those in the shop, Cheryl? Is that something that you sell, that you work with a lot? Oh, do I really want a third? I'm gonna hold. Putting a pin in that one for the moment.
And Scott did his planters on his porch, and they sound like they are gorgeous. He's doing all white, gray, green, and blue this year. A bit sophisticated, don't you think?
Well, yes, Mr. Scott has just been remodeling his house like crazy, so I'm sure that the outside looks as fabulous as the inside does. Post a picture in the Tulip Bunch, will you? Because I want to see what you did, because that sounds really contemporary, very modern, very edgy, and I like it.
asked him to do that too, so
Yeah.
it's better.
Awesome.
And he said
Love
he
it.
used sweet potato vines in green and purple, which sweet potato vines are like my favorite
Yeah.
thing in the world.
And aren't they kind of that chartreusey yellow-green color when they're blooming? Or are they the purpley ones?
They can do both.
Okay.
Yeah.
I gave up on porch pots a few years ago. I don't have a black thumb. Outside, I'm usually pretty good. Inside, I have a black thumb. We've already discussed that I can only grow old lady plants. Oh, look at that. Isn't that fun? Look at that celosia.
Weren't those so cool? That was just an extra little thing that I threw in when I saw it. I said, oh, Michelle
I
needs
love, it's like brains. Reminds me of Halloween. Brains. I love them. Super fun.
Cheryl says they do sell them and they sell like hot.
I'll bet, yeah. Because it's, chrysanthemums can get kind of a bad rap, right? Because like, oh, it's a chrysanthemum. Oh, how boring is that? Buzz, wrong answer. There are so many varieties we've had 5 or 6 already just in the classroom in the last 3 weeks for the students of different kinds of, let me scoot that closer, different kinds of chrysanthemums, different growth habits, different flower shapes, the colors. Oh my stars. The color palette they have for their testing tomorrow, it is modern fall.
Isn't it the best?
It's so pretty.
Oh my
It's
gosh. I think
violets.
I'm gonna take the test.
I want the leftovers. It's violets and purple blacks and
You're not
hot.
supposed to tell them this.
Well, but they don't know. They can't hear it. They are being very quiet, so that's good. Yeah. So we've just had amazing chrysanthemums this fall. Got to whittle this guy down a little bit.
So Carol Jean wants to know who's taking that arrangement home, and I'll just point out that I cleared out all my dead flowers to make plenty of room for new things.
Well, there you go. I guess she's the boss. She does get first dibs. Unless I sneak into my car.
Elbows, right?
Elbows. Yeah. Hip check on my way out the door. What happened to Leanne? I don't know. She fell down.
She must have tripped.
So speaking of chrysanthemums,
Oh, man, those are
these
gorgeous.
are amazeballs. I'm going to put it in the close-up with my hand.
Oh,
So you
I point it right to the lens, not the screen. There you go.
There we go.
Okay. Good
It-
job.
She'll get us trained one of these days.
Yeah. So with these, they actually look like a firework. If you look at them in profile, if you know anything about fireworks, the mortars that they send up for those big ones, you know, like the sound effects, those they have names based on the pattern they create, and they have one that's a chrysanthemum because it looks like this. And these to me just look like fireworks. And Leanne brought them in their little hairnets, and I'm like, happy dance! Look what we have. So I'm gonna pop a few of these in, and I'm gonna let them float up above a little bit, like a firework that's going off. I sunk the dahlias pretty deep, and I started with my filler flowers, which is a little atypical, but again, if you've met me, makes perfect sense. And then I'm using these just out a little bit beyond the norm because I don't want to bury them. They're too pretty. They are just too pretty. Running into some Oregonia. There we go. Uh-oh. Ruh-roh. He is a firework. He is just coming apart at the seams. So we're going to tuck him down in nice and deep.
Diane says that those are absolutely fabulous. We have to come up with a better name to make them sound sexy. So maybe fireworks is it.
Yeah, and I don't... Linda darling, if you're on today, can you tell me what the variety is? Because if anybody's going to know, it's going to be you. I know you will know.
Yeah, she's probably out in the
Fields, yeah, she's out quickly trying to harvest.
She's on with us today.
Yeah, well, she might catch it on replay. But if we have another tulip out there that is a chrysanthemum or a dahlia aficionado, you might know what that name is. I'm going to tuck those down just a titch. Not much. All right. So there's more my classic fall. You guys like that one? I kind of do. It's orange. What's not like to like, right? Gesundheit, or whatever that was. All right, so next up, I want to do something that's more in that non-traditional fall color palette. At least that's my plan. Let me make a little clean spot here. What I have is this lovely brassy pot. It is metal. This is one that we haven't yet lined with Flex Seal. So since it's metal, I can't put flowers in it, right? Flowers and water. So what I have is just a bowl with my foam in it that my water can go in. And speaking of that, I need to add some water to this. So it is taped into the vessel. Make sure I pour it into the right container. That would be a Michelle. Pour it into the outside vessel and the flowers die.
Oh, look how well you score your corners.
Yeah.
That must be you went to flower school.
I did go to flower school. And I got a little too much water in there, but you know, that's why there's a bumper. All right, so with this one, I am going to go more into the palette that they have in the classroom, more the ruby tones, the red violet, the blue violet, the blue, the violet, which is still a fall tone. And I'm going to play off the color of my vessel here and bring some of that gilded foliage up into the design. So I'm going to start with, I'm going different again, keeping you all on your toes today. I'm going to start with this delicious Protea. And this is Brenda, is that right, Leanne? Brenda?
Yes, that is Brenda.
This is Brenda. Brenda meet tulips. And this will be my focal flower. And this stem, I've already hacked it or broken it off once. It's just massive. You could use a clipper, but I'm just going to go in and snap it on the edge of the table. And I might need to take some more off, but at least for now, we'll see how this suits me.
Tim Farrell said you did a good job.
Thanks, Tim. Wow, I got Floral royalty watching today. I got to keep my act clean.
Yeah, don't screw it up.
Don't screw it up.
That's company motto.
Right? Don't screw it up. All right, so I've got that Protea in there. I've got a little bit of a tilt on it because I do want you to be able to see into it and see that there's something going on. I mean, look how deep that is. Something going on in there. If I have them perfectly parallel, you wouldn't really see that quite so much. I spy with my little eye some beautiful ruscus. I think there were a couple pieces back here that'll do what I want. So I don't knock the whole set over in the process of getting to them.
So question for you.
Sure.
There was one guess on the variety of that spider mum.
Oh,
A lot of people came up with spider.
Yep.
Yay, they were good. Carol Jean says it might be fireworks igloo. And then somebody else said, no, that might be a little bit too pink, but we don't know. So we're still
Okay.
on that.
We still don't know.
And
That's all
then
right.
The question is, why is your phone taped that specific way?
Okay.
And then Sonette, I know I'm giving you all kinds of things at once, I'll help you remember.
Okay.
Sonette said that Protea is the national flower of South Africa.
Oh, very cool. Thanks, Sonette. You guys are just a wealth of information out there. I love that.
And
So,
Natalie thinks the mom is Safina.
Safina.
So who knows?
Who knows?
We're all gonna guess here.
Yeah, I'm gonna go with the guess that it was fireworks something something, just because I think it looks like fireworks, and that's my story, and I'm sticking to it until we can Google it and find out what it is at least. So the question was, why did I tape my fine fall? See if I care. My phone that way.
You need an assistant.
I do need an assistant. Where's my helper? I need help, basically. That's what that means. It's a modified parallel taping, railroad style or parallel taping. I could have done that. This is just kind of how I tape for parallel. It gives me a good open area in the center for my focal, but then it also gives me a lot of room on the sides for larger branches or foliages or something like that. That's why.
Do you want a little spin? I'll do a close up, you can see it very well. There you go.
There you go. So it's a V. It's kind of a V shape when I'm all done with it. But yeah, that's why. It's just the way I do
Just
it.
styling.
Just the way I
We got a
do
good
it.
camera crew.
Yeah, we do. All right. So what I'm going for here is, like I said, it's a little non-traditional, a little more modern, kind of a crescent shape. My focal's a little off-center in this. I'm going to add some more to it, but I don't know. I like asymmetry in things. Just feels better, natural, different, whatever. And I'll use some of these little babies. I hate to waste them, so we're just gonna tuck them in there because we can. And then just a little more.
It's fun that you're using mums in that other arrangement.
Yeah.
Because I was just talking with Natalie,
Uh-huh.
and she's working with the Chrysanthemum Society, where they actually have a design competition
Oh.
and a growing competition. And she's putting together the judging criteria for all of that. She is
Oh.
going crazy getting that all set together.
Oh, very
And
cool.
so she is our sort of resident chrysanthemum expert.
I like it. I like it a lot. All right, so I have some Cymbidium orchids left on the stem, and I want to work these into my focal area here. Get rid of some of the chunk on that stem. And that's why I left that Protea off center a little bit, is because I wanted to be able to have more than just a focal flower. Yeah, it's pretty dominant, but it adds to that area, just adding a little accent to my my focal area at that point. And what else do I want? Oh, it's over here. Score. Literally stole this from the students. It's actually in the flower bucket. But I have some
The
calcinia.
students are not gonna be loving you.
That's all right. Well, they don't know. Won't hurt them. Don't tell. So this is calcinia. It's got a little bit of a tint to it. And I liked the texture and the fact that it pulled that same soft red violet tone out of the orchid. It just gave a little different texture with the foliage that it has, a little smaller. And no one was looking, so I took it. Bad teacher, right? Bad Michelle. Seems to be a theme around here. Bad Michelle. So I'll use it almost like a foliage, I guess I would say. I'm using it to give me some coverage within the design down low. Oof. Don't want to hurt myself there. And I do like its kind of spindly, dancey nature. Adds a really nice little bit of movement to things. It is tinted, so it will transfer onto my fingers as I'm designing. And that means if you're using it in a vase arrangement, like a vessel of water, like a clear vase, you more than likely are going to tint the water with it. It's not necessarily a bad thing, because it could enhance the design that you've created, but you just need to be aware that it will bleed and wick that color into the water for sure. All right, we'll add a few more bits here. I may add more bits, but we'll start with that.
You're framing the bells on one side and the ruscus on the other, even though the bells are behind you, really look great on camera.
I planned that, that was totally on point. So here again, I have that technique that I used on the camellia. It is just gilded Floral. And I did the same thing, spritzed it with water. I didn't use soapy water, but I just spritzed it with water and then quickly hit it with the gold paint. And that gives me just a little something extra, little bit of sparkle, a little bit of shine on things. And I'm going to work that in, kind of low-ish into the design. I've got a nice piece that curls up. Yes, I do. Bring that into the back here. I don't want a ton of it. I'm not doing Christmas, right? I'm not doing full-on glitter sparkle in that sense. Oh, but wait.
Yet,
yeah. But wait, that will happen for sure. But it's just helping unify my design a little bit. It's giving me a connection to that vessel more so than not, basically, because I'm not really using a gold tone flower in this one. Oh, we'll use him. He can tuck in there. He's been good. So I have another question for you guys. It's officially October 1st. So what does that also mean? That
rabbit.
Well, yes, rabbit. That is one thing. Yep. But what does that also mark the beginning of for most people?
Birthday month.
Birthday month? Okay. Thinking more beverage. More beverage.
October ale.
Oh, I like where you're going better than where I was headed. Absolutely. Well, you can tell the tulips, we're adults, that's it. I'm wondering, are you team pumpkin spice or team no way? I'm team no way. But
I'll watch and I'll start tallying.
I want to.
Pencil ready.
I want to know what the tulips are. Are you team pumpkin spice or team no
I want to know what
way?
rabbit means. I think I'm too new.
Can you expand on rabbit, Leanne?
Susie is our best rabbit expert. But
Yep.
on the first day of the month, the first thing you do when you wake up or before you go to bed, if it's after midnight, you say rabbit, and you make a wish. I didn't know that either.
Every month or just October?
Every month.
So we can
And-
still do it oh, no.
No, it's over now. You've been talking already. You had to do it. But yeah, Susie taught me this, and so she always reminds everybody on the last day of the month, okay, people, it's rabbit. And
my
so
reminder.
then she stays up really late, so at midnight, 12:01, she says rabbit, and makes her wish. I wake up at 5 and say rabbit, and make my wish, and we pray that it works.
That it works, absolutely.
Okay, Susie, I want my reminder at the end of the month.
Okay, Susie, take care of Jules.
What do I for rabbit?
I don't know. Susie will know. Susie knows everything.
Because there's a pretty rabbit emoji to go with it.
Yes, there is. That is for sure. All right. So I'm tucking a little bit more of the calcinia in here. I just really like it. Bottom line, and Here's my front. And then, so I gilded the Floral leaves to get a little bit of sparkle. But if you're a floral designer, you know you just don't throw things out because they're dried or they're, I don't want to say dead, but they're not at their peak of fresh beauty. Because a lot of things, like cattails, like protea, are as beautiful when they're dried as when they're fresh. So what I did was take some of the Stella that we have used many times, and I've gilded them. So I took, the color originally was really close to the protea, but as they aged and dried out, you lose some of that vibrancy. So I thought, well, I'm not throwing them out, I want to use them. So I just took them outside with my foliage and I gilded them to add just a little bit of sparkle. And I'm going to tuck these in behind that protea for a little bit of depth. And then I'll pop the 3 of these more into the front, into that focal area. I just love these. The texture is cool. They look kind of like a medieval torture device for some reason to me.
Or a little artichoke.
Little artichoke, yeah, absolutely. So I'm going to work those right down into that front area, like so. Yeah, I'm liking that. Do I want anything else in there? I do. I've forgotten. The Gomphrena. It's
You're loving the Stella.
Good. The Gomphrena is a little bit more intense in color. It's got a little bit more depth of red violet than the Calcinia does, but it is going to pull more the undertone of the protea. I don't want a lot of them, but seriously, what's not to love? I want a little bit, just for some extension. Teacher Carolyn would be so proud of me right now. Let it fly, girl, let it fly. So I'm going to add a few of these in, and I'm getting rid of the leaves because I'm really just after that ball on a stick. And Gomphrena are another one that dry beautifully. And this is a local product, I'm guessing, because it looks so fabulous. Look at that. I'm just going to break those apart. Get rid of some of my vase collection up here. Maybe I'll break them apart if they'll let me. There we go. Took a few down low. Get rid of a few leaves. Natalie, do you grow Gomphrena? Is this one that you have? They do grow really well in the Pacific Northwest. I know that. I've tried it, but I haven't been very good with my gardening lately. If it shows up in my yard and my husband doesn't round up it, we'll take it as a win. Foliages, yes, we've had lots of foliage lately. But get just a little bit here into the front corners. Adds just a little different sparkle to things. Like that. And my foam is showing in the back. Seriously, none of you told me that? I'm amazed. Either that or Leanne's being really nice and she hasn't said, your foam is showing in the back, Michelle.
I'm paying attention to my people on here instead of you.
That's good. Well, usually the people are the ones saying, is she going to cover her foam? No, I'm going to let
nobody said that yet.
Wow, you guys are slacking today. Or you finally learned that I'm not done yet. And also, when the bright lights are not blinding me and I can actually see into the middle of my vessel, I can go back and cover my mechanics completely. All right, I want a little bit more.
So Natalie says, yes, she does grow it.
Okay, cool.
And then it's interesting, YouTube is pretty much no way.
Oh.
And Facebook is stronger to yes, pumpkin spice, which is kind of interesting how that divided.
That's hilarious.
But the interesting answers is they think pumpkin spice really goes best with pie. So just stick with pie. Don't do anything else, just pumpkin spice pie. And then there's a lot of people that say cider is better, and especially if you add Fireball.
You're my people. You are my people.
And then, of course, we have always the snarky ones. I'll leave it open, you guys can figure out who the snarky one is. That this is when we thaw out Mariah Carey.
Good point, Rick. I'm not wrong, am I? We love you. We love you, Rick. We love all our tulips.
So what is Fireball?
It's a cinnamon flavored whiskey.
Oh, okay, I was like, I don't even know what that is, okay.
I'm glad you don't, Leanne, to be honest. I'm actually
It's
quite.
probably past my pay grade.
I'm
too young for that.
You're too young for that, yes. So, all right, I feel like I'm done. So it is a little off center. It is a little asymmetrical. That is not my center. That is my center.
Give us a little spin.
Roxy says she's taking that one home tonight.
Cool, I'll hold it for you.
And nice.
There you go. All right, cool beans, Batman. All right, I'm gonna move this one out and I'm gonna move on to the last one.
And Fernando from Portugal just said good night.
Oh, good night, Fernando. Thank you for joining us. Have a good sleep. He's been with us a few weeks at bedtime.
Yep. Dennis finally just got home and is finally watching.
Oh, good. Excellent. Hey, Dennis.
And Kimberly says, you are a beautiful inspiration and instructor. I agree. That's why Michelle is our lead instructor.
Thanks. I love what I do. Bottom line, it's not just our tagline. It really is kind of the mantra of all of us here at school. So, yeah, you roll your eyes when we say it, but honestly, it's true. I do love what I do.
Scott said that was pretty enough that you might be able to get a job.
You think? If I keep practicing, could I get a job? Maybe. I don't know. All right, so this last one is going to be more traditional colors and textures of fall, but I'm going to do it in a more contemporary design style. I'm going to do it in more of a vegetative parallel fashion because, you know, I like tall things, and she just rolled her eyes at me. But that's okay. Wouldn't be alive without Teacher Michelle going tall, would it? Or using something sparkly. Oh, and I have more sparkly.
And Joe was like, well, thank you for doing that.
Yeah, awesome. Woo. All right, so talking about saving things, some cattails that are dried, and I'm looking for my Spanish moss. Yes, I have black foam. It wasn't so much a design choice as it just was that happened to be what was soaking from class, and I may have stolen it from them also.
And you found the Spanish moss.
And I found
that box out.
I did. I was like, whoa, look at she brought out the good stuff. So I'm just kind of, I don't want to say I'm messily placing it, but I'm messily placing it, very casually. Maybe that's a better term. I'm casually placing it so that I just kind of soften the edge of that vessel. It is, I don't know, does that show on camera, Jules? It's a brassy, coppery metal tray.
We show
Okay.
the close as well.
Yeah, awesome.
See how brassy.
Yeah, how brassy and delicious it is. So I'm just going with that more traditional color palette with, I'll try to be kind as I can, Jules. I won't go super tall.
Jim would like you to pronounce what design you're doing again.
I'm doing a parallel design style.
That's not what he's looking for.
Oh,
Vegetative.
oh, vegetative? I'm doing vegetative design. Yes, I am.
With our discrepancies.
Yes. 6 of one, half dozen of another. All right. So I've got my little cattails in here. I've got some irregular tips. I've got some that are broken. So I'm just going to come in and not necessarily make them all the same length, but I am going to trim all the cuts up at the same angle just so it looks a little cleaner. And I want my fabulous
Ooh.
Gilded Fancia. So I want to think about how, oh darn. I would like them this way, but that stem really isn't going to cooperate, and I don't know if I can get him to. I might be able to get him to cooperate. I'm going to go into the magic drawer of tricks here and see if I can find a war that will work, and I'm just going to do a little trick. I'm going to come in on the back side here, do a quick stitch through his backside, bring that down, and then just give him a little bend. Oh, look at that. So now he's going to stay the way I put him. In theory.
So Diane said that this particular design was one that you made her do again.
Possible.
And she said, but she was right.
I don't do it to be mean. If you are in the online program or in class, frankly, and we ask you to do something again, it's not because we're being mean. It's because we want you to get the experience of doing it right and seeing for yourself, or feeling, if it's a hand-tied design, feeling the difference in what was good and what is better in that sense.
She appreciated the fact that you made her do it again.
Well, good. I'm glad. I'm glad you appreciated it and you're not like throwing knives at the screen right now. That makes me happy.
And then they want to know why your cattails aren't fuzzing out all over the table.
I don't know. They are very close to doing so, and I was a little concerned that they might just explode on camera. But you know, so far they haven't. I'm happy for that.
And with your thieving,
Yes.
you have interesting words, and I would like to throw it out to all the tulips. So
Okay.
anybody that's watching, to add to this, we have expert appropriator, covert acquisitions.
You guys are great. I love it.
So I want to see what else we can come up with. This is pretty cool.
Instead of a thief, I like it. Yeah. Make me sound classier than I really am. I'm good with that. Oh, I don't have enough foam there. Pooh. All right, that's fine. We'll move him over here. Yeah, you guys are very creative, not just with flowers, but with your word choices. I like it. I like the wordsmithing. You guys are great.
Wordsmithing, that's good too.
Wordsmithing, yeah.
I
So,
think you were an English major.
you'd thunk. You'd thunk I was. All right, so I'm using these gorgeous chrysanthemums that are fighting me a little bit to do some of my basing with them. I was going to use the sunflowers, but A, I don't really like them. And B, I know, shoot me now.
But I agree.
They weren't speaking to me. How's that? I shouldn't malign the sunflower. They just weren't speaking to me. And I'm going to use the mums instead. If I can. Try and get him in there a little different height. Oh, that's not good. He's crooked. Stinker butt. His stem is crooked. Well, that's just ruining my line all over. Well, we'll move that. Maybe that'll help. In class, we've jokingly been calling the cattails corn dogs on a stick. And I told him, so help me God, you put that on your final, you'll be in trouble. But at least for funsies, we were calling it that.
You're not supposed to use the wrong word.
I know. Every now and then you gotta have a little fun though. All right, so just popping those in there. Get another one over here. Maybe on the outside edge. Bring a little bit, oh, too long. Oh, that Spanish moss is just like Velcro. It is holding on to things, which is good. I kind of like that. Just tuck him over there for a little bit of bringing that color across. Oh, there they are, right behind me. Good thing they weren't a snake that had bitten me. So I have these awesome,
Those are so beautiful.
kind of antiqued Hydrangea, I haven't touched them. They've not been airbrushed. They've not been painted or anything. It's just what they've done as we've gotten into the fall season. So I've got kind of this greenish, bluish undertone. So if you think about opposites on the color wheel, and I know somewhere in here Leanne has a color wheel.
I think it's on this side.
There, I just didn't open it far enough. So if we look at our color wheel and we look at color harmonies, I have in essence orange, right? It's bronze, so it's orange with tint, tone, or shade. Probably not a tint, it's going to be a tone or a shade in it. So if I go to orange and I go across to its complement, it's blue. Well, shucky darn, isn't that blue-ish to me? Does it read blue on camera at all? Blue-ish?
I think so.
Yeah, we'll call it blue. That's my story. I'm sticking to it.
They can
Blue-ish.
recalibrate their computer.
Yes, it's blue in the studio.
Trust me, it's blue.
It's blue. So I'm working with that as a complementary color to my bronzy orange color.
So you're going to go into the mocha mousse thing.
A little bit of mocha mousse, aren't I? Yeah, it's a good thing. We only have a little bit longer for it to be the color of the year, so I've got to get it in there while I can. Oops, he's too tall.
So we have one more. We are a botanical bounty hunter.
Whoa, I like that. Man, you guys are on fire today with these things. I like it. I was just being lame with a thief. The students don't know yet. They will, maybe not. They will when the designs go out of the studio here.
Wasn't that mine?
Was it? Yeah. Hey, how come we didn't have that? Well, you did, but I took it. That's how we roll sometimes. All right, so I'm using this to conceal my mechanics, cover up that base. And then,
Yeah, your scale is absolutely perfect because Fibonacci.
I was trying to be good, and I do have to move a flower because I almost forgot to put in one of my little treasures. So that little chrysanthemum, oh, please come apart, don't come apart rather, that I tucked right down low in the front, I need to move him. Come. I'm gonna shift, oh, you didn't see that, right? I'm gonna shift him over here to the outside edge. That'll work just fine for me. And I'll spin him back around. So as we come to the end of summer, we have a lot of end of the road flowers, I guess I'll call them. You know, we're getting the last bloom on this or the last session of that or whatever. And quite often we're getting lilies that do that. Exactly, they do that. The bloom gets damaged and we take it off and then you're stuck with buds and you're like, I'm so tired of them breaking. Well, newsflash, don't throw this out. Do not throw this out. What you can do, let me slide this over here, is take bouillon wire. Obviously I'm using gold, right? Because I want to connect my container to my fascia. And what I'm going to do, spool some off, come down here to that broken stem, and do a couple wraps around that stem. Did you think I'd go through a whole live without wire? Come on. And then I'm going to gild the lily. Sorry, couldn't help myself. But what I'm doing is just wrapping the bouillon around the lily. I'm not wrapping it so tightly that I'm cutting it. Throw that in my pocket. But I am wrapping it tightly enough that there is tension. I can't let go of the wire like I did down here at the bottom. Otherwise, it's going to just come undone like a spring. So I need to hold the tension on it at the base. And then just wrap back and forth, just adding a little bit of sparkle to this and turning what might have been trash, especially if it was broken, into a design element in my arrangement. So I'll cut that bouillon, get down here to those ends. Come on, cooperate. There we go. And take the two ends and just twist it like a bread tie, around like so. And now I have that little, his stem's a little short, but we'll make him work. But what I'm going to do is replicate my placements of the cattails and do little vertical placements, because I did a whole handful of them, with the lilies. So I'll just give them a nice little angled cut on all of these here. Just do quickie. And then I'll place them all in to the design. Ooh, that one's got a nice long stem. Place them into the design to give me a little bit of additional sparkle, a little bit of textural difference. So I'll come in here next to those cattails, work around in my foam a little bit and that moss, like so. And the thing I like about this is it's playing, let me turn this so I can see, it's playing off the little bit of green, blue-green that's in the hydrangea. It's kind of pulling that. It's also pulling, these were yellow lilies, just so you know, and it's pulling a little bit of the yellow center of the chrysanthemums out. Not a lot, because they aren't really open. Tucking that down in. And then I've got two others. I'm just going to bring them over here just to give a little extra something over on that side. Oh, maybe not. Oh, Pooh, he broke. But skewer to the rescue. So this is just a bamboo kitchen skewer, and I just made myself a new stem there. So I'll tuck that down into the foam over here. Get that fatsia leaf. Oh, that's why he doesn't want to go there, because the fatsia leaf. Well, fine, we'll move you. See how you are? There we go. Oh, coming around. Like that. So instead of using the lily in a traditional way, I, use something that might be garbage that we just pitch because it's broken and turned it into something different. I kind of like that concept. Let's see. Is there anything else I want to tuck into this? Yes, she says.
Isn't that the weirdest stuff?
I love. Is it Queen Anne's lace that's gone funky?
It is a different variety that's kind of a seed type thing.
That's so cool.
I picked it up, I set it down. I picked it up, I set it down, and I brought it.
And then you brought it. I like that about you. All right, so I'm going to give myself another parallel grouping on the other side. And it is
Thanks
just
for the close-up, Jules.
Hmm?
They like that close-up of the lilies.
cool. Just gives me a little something extra. Replicates the form of the chrysanthemums. I've replicated the cattails with the lily buds, so now I'm going to balance this out on the other side, just with a little something extra.
Harmony said she could see candles added to that.
Ooh, wouldn't that be lovely?
Taper?
Like the little skinny tapers, that'd be really cool. Oh, I like that idea. Be a wonderful centerpiece for sure. So I'm just judging my heights. I don't want them all to end up at the exact same height. My eye will just see a line there, and then I'll forget everything else that's going on and just see that. I need a little touch more of that Spanish moss tucked back in here, like so. Cut off any extra. This mum is kind of giving me angst. His stem is not straight, so either I get the flower head where I want it or I get the stem crooked. I'm gonna see if I can shift him at all.
There are people from across the water. There's a whole bunch. I mean, we've got obviously Sweden, we've got Norway, it's just like, I'm always amazed at people, because I know this is the middle of the night. So probably while they're laying in bed.
Well, that sounds really good right now.
Yeah.
It's been a long day. Have I mentioned that? All right, so I ended with a more contemporary treatment of a traditional color palette. We started with, I don't know where my front is. I don't know if that matters. We started with a classic design. It's a round design in a traditional color palette. And then we did something kind of crazy and fun that's a non-traditional fall color palette. Because why? Well, because we can. And why can we? Because we came to flower school and we learned the rules, and then we learned how we can use the rules to our advantage, right? So I hope you guys had a great hour. I had a great time. This was a lot of fun. Of course, we used some of my favorite things, which is never a bad thing. So have a great rest of your week. Please join us next week. Go do something you love, and we'll see you then. Bye, guys.